Now we're recording.
Oh, what? Damn it!
We are now recording.
God.
That was funny.
Jesus.
I waited for you to, get hyped a little bit more. Now it's embarrassing.
Now it's fine. Whatever. I'm not blushing. Whatever.
It's just me here. You don't have to worry about it. I'm master at editing.
You and all of our listeners.
Hi.
Hey. You know what a really good point that I heard was brought up in a podcast I was listening to was? Which you also listened to?
What?
The fact that neither of us can hear anybody listening to us. And, laughing to us and stuff.
Yeah. My sister-in-law, she texts me when something's funny, which is good.
So she, live texts it?
Pretty much.
I love it.
She listened to one of our previous airs, and she was like, murder baby music with, crying emojis. Anywho.
My friends will be like, I'm listening. I'm like, yay.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you.
It's not awkward at all. So today we're talking about dark and disturbing fairy tales. So, today is an interesting one because we're not really talking about anything that can be... Never mind. We are talking about something that can be compared to, movies.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Fairy tales and movies are... You think about movies when you think about fairy tales.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I was never told fairy tales as a kid. Told them.
Yeah.
I always watched movies.
Exactly.
So.
But that was... We were talking about this before, and I had a hard time defining what a fairy tale was. So when you say dark fairy tale, I automatically go to Grimm fairy tales. Grimm Brothers Grimm. Yeah. No, that's the movie. The book is just
the Grimm Brothers fairy tales, something like that.
Which most of those are just a fucked up origin story of the Disney bullshit we were fed as kids.
Yes.
So in my head I didn't want to talk about the princesses and stuff like that because a lot of people have heard the messed up Sleeping Beauty version. Same with the Snow White and stuff. So I looked around for more of, I guess I want to say folklore, but also fable-y stuff, fables. So when I researched it, it was when I researched fairy tale, it said the definition of a fairy tale is a children's story about magical and imaginary beings and lands. And in the Wikipedia for folklore, a fairy tale is a subgenre of that.
Yeah.
But then if you keep going in a fairy tale is denoting something regarded as resembling a fairy story in being magical, idealized, or extremely happy. So, the princess falls in love with the prince, happily ever after.
Woo.
That is the typical fairy tale. So folklore in a nutshell is the parent genre of a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And so anything that is happy and nice, or anything that the what did I say? So things like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, those have a lesson in it. Don't cry wolf. Don't be that dick.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Don't be oh God, I'm gonna die.
So then fairy tales, from what we know, is expressing happy, fantastical view on things and love, like I just said. And what did I write here exactly? It says folklore is a fairy tale just rooted in reality and not in a nice way, more of the princess doesn't get a happy ending and is instead raped and imprisoned. Oh boy.
Yay.
But both can have, what I responded with your notes was that there's a lesson learned aspect for both. But I think you wanted more beast and mythical creatures.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about, you can't find a bunch of stories about it because it's a creature.
I mean, well, you have the creature.
It's a creature feature folklore type thing.
I mean, you could find The Last Unicorn. That was a fucked up creature feature.
No, I mean serious.
Hardcore dark dark fairy porn.
No, like, so, and I'll talk about it later with recommendations, but basically when you look into what I wanted to talk about.
I don't remember what you said, but anyways, go on. We'll find out.
It's descriptions and what they do. There's no,
There's no story about it.
This is the story of what's been done.
Yeah. There's no, like, recollections or...
Yeah, it's a lot of...
witnesses.
Yeah, it's a lot of art pieces and a lot of, like, oh, this is what people have seen, but nobody has a story about it. There was a story about it, but it's...
vague and
yeah,
not
it was
detailed.
like, oh, yay. You did the thing.
It happened.
Yeah, so, anyway.
Well, so I'm gonna go over 2 different fairy tales, folklores. Mostly because, like, we all know the original story made by Disney or made into, like, a fantasy-loving, magical children's book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Disney doesn't make the originals.
They did for the second one. No, not the original, but they did make it all happy and not
they don't
death.
make the originals. Yeah.
So the first one is actually... The first one was actually brought in by an Instagram follower. I had reached out about a week before writing all the notes and stuff, and I was like, what's your favorite dark fantasy, dark fairy tale? And they said the Pied Piper. And then we all know the Pied Piper with the rats and stuff.
I thought it was mice.
It was rats.
Oh.
I mean, in some Disney version,
Rats
it might have been...
Mice suck. Rats are cool.
Yeah, rats are fucking smart.
I know.
My friend, or one of my husband's friends, had rats, and they don't live very long. But they are absolutely dependable and absolutely loyal and
dogs.
Smart. But they live like 2 years max. So you build this relationship, and then you get your heart broken.
That's why I can't have like a Great Dane, because they live like 7 years.
Flynn had Great Danes growing up, and like he used to share his ice cream with
big horse dogs.
Yeah, and one of them saved him. He was crawling into the oven as a baby, and it like came up and like grabbed him by the underwear and
said,
just
"Fuck."
Yeah, god damn it.
Closes the oven with his nose.
Yeah,
fucking.
Flynn still has the giant patch on his arm.
Yeah,
that's a scar, but like all of his
the oven
freckles,
was on.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
All of his freckles kind of like grouped right there.
Holy crap!
So that's a scar. Anywho, so the original Pied Piper is this guy. There's like a rat infestation in the city, and the king hires him to lead all the rats out. Generally, right? Is that the original?
I don't remember anything about an infestation. I just remember a little flute.
Yeah.
And then a little trail of rats or mice. I thought it was mice, but you know.
So in the original story, that was guy leading the rats out of the town was the story.
Yeah.
There was a rat problem, and this guy came into town claiming to be a rat catcher. He promised the mayor a solution to their problem with the rats. The mayor then was like, cool, I'll pay you. And he lured them out of town. And probably what wasn't in any of the Disney ones was that all but one of the rats were led to the river to drown and die.
Oh, babies.
Exactly.
No.
So the Piper was successful.
Piper's an asshole.
He gets worse.
Oh.
He gets worse. Ooh. So when he came back, the mayor was like, I'm not going to pay you. You did the deed, but I'm not going to pay you. So he even, in the article, it says that he even went so far as to blame the Piper for bringing the rats himself in an extortion attempt. This pissed the Piper off, obviously.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll fucking get you guys. And this time while the adults were in church, the Piper returned dressed in green like a hunter playing his pipe. In doing so, he attracted all of the kids in town.
Oh, fuck that, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about, like, cats or dogs or something.
Oh, no.
And I was going to get really upset, but all the kids.
I mean...
There's an overpopulation problem.
If you're going to care about the kids, replace kids in your head with cats.
No.
And then you'll actually care.
No, because then I'll be upset.
I mean, it is upsetting.
Apparently, I'm very insensitive.
That's fine.
I'm sorry to anybody that has kids that listens.
I mean,
yikes.
Who doesn't want to drown their kids every once in a while? Whoa.
I think we're on a list.
We're on so many lists.
Murder Watch.
Anywho, so this is 130 children.
130?
130 in this
God.
town. And they followed him out of town into a cave, and they were never seen again. And so, depending on the version, at most 3 children remained behind. One was lame and could not follow. The second was deaf, therefore could not hear the music. And the last was blind and unable to see where he was going. That's so fucked up.
Oh my god.
He's a little kid like, I want to come.
I just thought of the 3 blind mice.
Yeah.
Just like...
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's where it came from. Anyways, these 3 informed the villagers of what had happened when they came out of the church. In other versions...
How old is this range of kids?
I don't know. Probably like younger than 10, I would imagine. Because they're still playful and they still want to like dance around to music.
Probably.
Once you're 12 or 13, you're too angsty for that shit.
I know, you're like... Ugh.
Fucking music. Anyways, in other versions, the Pied Piper led the children to the top of Koppelberg. It's probably some German pronunciation that I'm doing completely wrong. Where he took them to a beautiful land, or a place called Koppenberg Mountain, or Transylvania.
Woo!
That he made them walk into the water as he did the rats, and they all drowned. Some versions state that the piper returned the children after payment, or that he returned the children after the villagers paid several times the original amount of gold.
Too happy.
I mean, yeah, that's probably the Disney fucking version.
Yep, too happy.
Yeah, anyways, it's not incredibly fucked up. It is. There are a bunch of other versions on the Wikipedia. It does actually go into the historical background of it actually happening.
Holy shit.
Like, some dude named Udolf. In the Wikipedia, he says he favors the hypothesis that the Hamlin youths wound up in what is now Poland. Gynecologist Dick Eastman.
Gynecologist?
No, was it genealogist?
I was like, gynecologist?
Dick
Damn.
Eastman cited Udolf's research on Hamlin's surname that have shown up in Polish phone books. Linguistics professor Udolf says that 130 children did vanish on a June day in the year of 1284 from the German village of Hamlin. Udolf entered all the known family names of the village at the time, and then he started searching for matches elsewhere. He found the same surnames occur with amazing frequency in the regions of Prignitz.
Everybody pregnant there?
Prignitz. And Uckermark, both north of Berlin. So basically, he was like...
Is there like a map? They went this distance.
Well, north of Germany, I guess. North of Berlin. But it's... So, it probably happened at some point, but then they didn't want to admit that they just let all 127 of their children wander off with some stranger.
Doesn't it say they're like at church?
Yeah, they're at church. They're just completely ignoring all their children. So they're like, oh... It must have been the piper. Like, it wasn't us just ignoring our children. They didn't just run off.
Nope.
Anyways, thank you to some cool username for that story. Because I know that neither of us knew the origins of that.
Yeah, I thought it stopped at the rats.
Yeah.
He just, like, left town and that was it.
And also, like, the Pied Piper isn't... You've heard of the Pied Piper, but... It's not really a contemporary story.
No, it's some, like, I don't know, it's like one of those pre-Pixar movie mini shorts.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've heard it in passing, but you haven't heard any of the extended stuff.
Exactly. Now on to the depressing stuff.
Yay!
So, a long time ago, I was talking about movies, like Disney movies that really fucked me up. And like Bambi and stuff like that. And then The Fox and the Hound came up. And even the Disney version of this movie is messed up.
Oh, I can't watch it.
Exactly.
No, it's like immediately too sad for me. I have to turn it off.
It's it's heartbreaking. So when he told me that it was worse, the actual story of this was worse.
Nope, fuck that.
I could never. I was like, I can't even watch the Disney movie.
I don't have the stability for the real shit.
Emotional stability is a must. So let's read it.
It's about to get real deep in here, guys.
So I'm just gonna read like a general synopsis kind of thing on Wikipedia about it, because I couldn't. The actual story is like, I think 20 pages long or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a little mini book thing.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in and grab your tissues. Anyways, is it Cooper or Copper?
Copper.
A bloodhound crossbreed.
Crossbreed.
Oh my god.
Where are you?
On the plot.
Where's your head?
Oh. I don't know. Copper, a bloodhound crossbred, was... It says bred, not
I think it's breed.
Okay, well, someone mistyped it in Wikipedia.
Well, I proved that you can edit Wikipedia. Who's the person? Where's their IP address?
I don't know. I don't care. Was once the favorite among his master's pack of hunting dogs in a rural country area. Rural? I can't say that word.
Damn.
However, he now feels threatened by Chief, a younger, faster, black and tan coonhound. Copper hates Chief, who... Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. But I'm offended by the story already. Because in the Disney movie, Chief is older, not younger. I'm offended and appalled. But
Disney fucked it all up by making it a little bit happier than the original story.
But Copper's supposed to be like a puppy at first, when him and Todd meet.
That's true, but that's not how this goes anyway.
This is a sad story?
Yeah. So, it already offends you, which is a good thing.
No, it's not. I'm done.
So, Copper hates Chief, who is taking Copper's place as pack leader. During a bear hunt, Chief protects the master when the bear turns on him. While Copper is too afraid of the bear to confront him, the master... Wait, I just completely said that wrong. During a bear hunt, Chief protects the master when the bear turns on him, while Copper is too afraid of the bear to confront him.
Which, Copper's a smart fucking dog.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with a bear.
Well, the whole thing is that Copper can't see, so he...
Copper can't see what?
Even in the...
Copper's not blind.
No, but he had a hard time seeing because of his fat rolls over his eyes. So...
It just reminds me of just the stupid droopy faces. Keep going.
The master ignores Copper to heap praise on Chief, and Copper's hatred and jealousy grow. Then we move to Todd, the adorable fucking fox.
My boy.
Yeah.
My best friend.
Todd is a red fox kit, raised as a pet by one of the human hunters who killed his mother and his litter mates.
Because he's an asshole.
Todd initially enjoys his life, but when he reaches sexual maturity, he returns to the wild. During his first year, he begins establishing his territory and learns evasion techniques from being hunted by local farm dogs. One day, he comes across the master's house and discovers that his presence sends the chained pack of dogs into a frustrated frenzy. He begins to delight in taunting them, until one day when Chief breaks his chain and chases him. The master sees the dog escape and follows with Copper. I keep wanting to say Cooper.
Copper.
It's like breaking my head. As Chief skillfully trails the fox, Todd flees along the railroad track while a train is approaching, waiting to jump to safety until the last minute. Chief is killed by the train.
Yeah. Pretty sure that happens in the Disney movie too.
I believe it. With Chief buried and the master crying over the dead dog, he trains Copper to ignore all foxes except for Todd. So now it's like, this dog fucking killed my favorite, or this fox killed my favorite dog. He's dead. It is on.
Fuck you.
Over the span of the two animals' lives, man and dog hunt the fox. The master uses over a dozen hunting techniques in his quest for revenge. With each hunt, both dog and fox learn new tricks and methods to outsmart each other, Todd always escaping in the end. Todd mates with an older, experienced vixen who gives
birth. Wow. Seductress.
Yeah. Well, literally. I mean, vixen. I think that's just what they call female foxes, right?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's not her name. It's not capitalized.
Well, I figured it was supposed to be like, I don't know, like this saucy female fox. And I was like, whoa.
With like the sleek and the puffy tail.
The puffy tail, and she's all wavy and smooth.
She's got like delicate little feet.
Yeah.
Okay, we're seeing
cute
Disney.
Little eyelashes.
Yeah, we're seeing Disney. I don't think that's where this goes. Anyways, before they are grown, the master finds the den and gasses the kits to death. So Todd has this litter of babies, and this guy finds his babies and kills them.
That reminds me of this freaking movie that's kind of similar. The humans are trying to cut down all the forest. They're like logging, and they gas everything.
Secret of Nim.
Thank you.
Yes, that's so fucked up. Yep. Oh my god. That is such a fucked up movie. Oh, and then the little, what is it? The mole guy? Yeah. The little mole kid?
Yep. So sad, right? Oh. I love that movie, but it's like, just so sad.
He's crying in the cage. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm tearing up.
See? Oh, that would have been a good one to talk about, actually. Fuck!
The Secret of Nim?
Yeah.
But is that the origin story, or is that just like a Disney version?
I'm looking it up, actually.
I think
there's a second one, apparently.
It's a Don Bluth movie. And Don Bluth was fucked up. Like, fucking Fievel Goes West. Did you see those?
I don't actually remember. I've seen it, but I don't remember anything of it.
It's so messed up.
It's an animated dark fantasy science fiction adventure film.
Science fiction?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's an adaptation of Robert C. O'Brien's 1971 children's novel, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
God. I don't know. No. Okay, anyways. That winter, the master sets out leg hold traps, which Todd carefully learns how to spring. But the vixen is caught and killed.
Damn. Bye, Mama.
So,
Todd's all alone again.
Just wait.
Oh, God.
In January, Todd takes a new mate.
Ah. So they're not penguins.
He's a little playa.
Sweet.
With whom he has another litter of kits. The master uses a still hunting technique in which he sits very quietly in the wood while playing a rabbit call to draw out the foxes. Oh. With this method, he kills the kits. Then, by using the sound of a wounded fox kit, he is also able to draw out and kill Todd's mate. This year hasn't been good for Todd, apparently. I'm fine. I'm halfway through.
That's why I'm not reading along with you.
As the years pass, the rural area gives way to a more urbanized setting. New buildings and highways spring up, more housing developments are built, and the farmers are pushed out. Though much of the wildlife has left, and hunting grows increasingly difficult, Todd stays behind because it is his home range. The other foxes that remain become unhealthy scavengers, and their natures change. Life bonds with their mates are replaced by promiscuity?
They fucking everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Couples going their separate ways once the mating act is over.
So yeah, they're totally screwing around.
It's like Tinder for foxes.
Swinger foxes.
The master has lost most of his own land, and the only dog he owns now is Copper. Each winter they still hunt Todd, and in an odd way he looks forward to it as the only aspect of his old life that remains. Well, fuck you too, Hunter.
Damn.
The master spends most of his time drinking alcohol, and people begin trying to convince him to move into a nursing home where no dogs are allowed.
Oh, Copper.
I don't know where this is going, but I don't want to know. One summer, an outbreak of rabies spreads through the fox population. After one infected fox attacked a group of human children, the same people approach the master and ask if he ask his help in killing the foxes. He uses traps and poison. See, I haven't read this.
I was gonna say, did you not read it?
No, oh, I wanted my honest reaction to this because I told you I have never sat down and read it before, ever, because
Yikes.
I knew it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is gonna get really, really sad.
Where was I? The same people approach the master and ask his help in killing the foxes. He uses traps and poison to kill as to try and kill as many foxes as possible. However, the poison also kills domestic animals. After a human child dies from eating it, dumbass, the humans remove all of the poison. Then the master organizes a hunt in which large numbers of people line up and walk straight lines into the woods, fleshing out the foxes to be shot. The aging Todd... What?
Yep.
The aging Todd escapes all three events, as well as an attempt at coursing him with the greyhounds. One morning, after Todd's escape from the greyhounds, the master sends Copper on the hunt. After he picks up the fox's trail, Copper relentlessly pursues him throughout the day and into the next morning. Todd finally drops dead of exhaustion, and Copper collapses on top of him, close to death himself. The master nurses Copper back to health, and both enjoy their new popularity. Aww. But after a few months, this is so sad. After a few months, the excitement over Copper's accomplishment dies down. The master is left alone again and returns to drinking. He is once again asked to consider living in a nursing home, and this time he agrees. Crying, he takes a shotgun from the wall, leads Copper outside, and pets him gently before ordering him to lie down. He covers the dog's eyes as Copper licks his hand trustingly. This is some fucked up shit. There was no friendship.
Can I tell you of a...
Wasn't there like a talking owl in the fucking Disney movie? Where the fuck was the owl?
Can I tell you of a comment I saw about this? Somebody on this this website that has the whole thing written down, one of the ones you linked, one of the comments said, "Dang, a Disney story based on something that made Watership Down look cheerful."
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was heavy. Anyways. That was mine. And now we'll move on to, I'm hoping not as depressing stuff.
I mean, it sucks.
Oh god. I don't know. Go.
So yeah, we already talked about how I wanted to talk about creature features.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm sure we'll do an episode of creature features one day.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to.
So, instead of doing creature feature, I decided to start with The Little Match Seller by Hans Christian Andersen.
Ugh, the other fucked up author.
So, long story short, is this little girl, she sells matches. And
I don't know. Is it like old-timey England where everyone just kills? Ugh.
So, basically, if she doesn't sell enough matches, her father beats her. Because
that's great.
She's making money.
Yeah.
So, long story short, one of the nights, or one of the days she didn't sell any matches at all. She decides, instead of going home to face her father, she decides she's going to sleep outside.
Oh.
And it's the middle of winter.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
no.
Basically, she sleeps in this little alleyway between two houses, two like brick houses, and she's flicking these matches, and the flame will light up, and she'll like have these visions of different like dreams, you know,
Visions?
Different things she wants to deal with. Yeah. So there's actually like a Disney animated short.
Huh.
And they're true to the story.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really fucking sad.
It's sad and fucked up, but at least I want to say entertaining.
No, it's
educational.
Really good, though. It's really good, though. She, like, flicks these matches, and she'll dream of, she'll do, daydreaming of, like, different things. So, one of them being, like, a New Year's feast with, like, friends and family and stuff.
So, like happiness.
Happiness, yeah. Really happy, fun things. She's in the corner between two houses, one of which projected beyond the other. She sank down and huddled herself together. She had drawn her little feet under her, but she could not keep off the cold. She dared not go home, for she had sold no matches and could not take home even a penny of money, and her father would certainly beat her.
Oh my god.
Yeah, besides, it was almost as cold at home as here, for they had only the roof to cover them. through which the wind howled, although the largest holes had been stopped up with straw and rags. Her little hands were almost frozen with the cold. Perhaps burning a match would be some good. If she could
burn the house down, you'll be warm.
Right, right? You gotta think, little girl. So she draws one out, and it burns. It gives a warm, bright light. She holds her hands over it to keep warm. It was a really wonderful light. It seemed to the little girl as she was sitting by a large iron stove with polished brass feet and brass ornament, how the fire burned and seemed so beautifully warm that the child stretched out her feet as if to warm them. When the flame of the match went out, the stove vanished, and she only had the remains of the half-burnt match. Jesus. So she keeps doing it.
Yeah.
To keep warm. But so the last one, she lights a match, and she finds herself sitting under a beautiful Christmas tree in her daydream. It was larger and more beautiful decorated than the one she had seen through the glass door at the rich merchant's house. Thousands of tapers were burning upon the green branches and colored pictures like those she had seen in the show windows. Looked down upon it all. The little one stretched out her hand towards them, and the match went out. The Christmas lights rose higher and higher until they looked to her like stars in the sky. Then she saw a star fall, leaving...
So she's hallucinating now.
Oh, totally. She saw a star fall, leaving behind it a great streak of fire. Someone is dying, thought the little girl. For her old grandmother, the only one who had ever loved her, who was now dead,
oh no,
told her that when a star falls, a soul is going up to God.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really sad. So she flicks another match, strikes another match, there we go. And the light shone around her. In the brightness stood her grandmother, clear and shining, yet mild and loving in her appearance. Grandmother, cried the little one, oh, take me with you. I know you will go away when the match burns out. You will vanish like the warm stove, the roast goose, and the large, glorious Christmas tree. Which I talked about the goose with the New Year's feast, yeah. And she made haste to light the whole bundle of matches, for she wished to keep her grandmother there. And the matches glowed with the light that was brighter than the noonday. And her grandmother had never appeared so large or beautiful. She took the little girl in her arms, and they both flew upwards in the brightness and joy far above the earth.
So she was happier to have died than continue living in her reality.
Yeah. She says, or they say, there was neither cold nor hunger nor pain, for they were with God. In the dawn of the morning there lay the poor little one, with pale cheeks and smiling mouth, leaning against the wall.
That'd be creepy to find.
She had been frozen to death in the last evening of the year, and the New Year's sun rose and shone upon the little corpse.
Oh.
The child still sat in the stiffness of death, holding the matches in her hand, one bundle of which was burnt. She tried to warm herself, said some. No one imagined the beautiful things she had seen, nor into what glory she had entered with her grandmother on New Year's Day.
So, there is an actual Disney short of this?
Oh, yeah.
The little fucking girl dying?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to post it. When this releases, I do want to post it to the Facebook and the Twitter.
Totally.
It is beautiful.
I'm sure.
But it is very sad. It's one of those things where, like, as it's going, you kind of figure she's gonna die, but then it hits you and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. The fact that she was happier to die than to go home, where she would have been, like,
beaten.
At least a little bit warmer, maybe.
No. Yeah, so it's really sad.
That's fucked up.
So Hans Christian Andersen, everybody.
Yeah. He did I was talking about, I think, but in the beginning I mentioned the Sleeping Beauty. I think he did the original Sleeping Beauty.
He also did Little Mermaid.
Maybe that was what I was thinking of.
Probably, maybe.
Because the one that I was thinking of for Sleeping Beauty was actually the original one that I was going to do, was Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Because, have you heard the original one? Like, in a nutshell, it's, she doesn't wake up till a kiss. She gets a splinter under her nail. The prince finds her, rapes her. She wakes up when her twins are being born and sucking her boobs. And then the prince finds out that she had his children. And the king is just then like, hey, come live with us. That's Sleeping Beauty. And then...
Wow.
Yeah, that's... That's Sleeping Beauty.
Yikes.
None of this dragon bullshit. It is children coming out of her vagina.
Maleficent is the best fucking thing to ever happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Disney. I love her.
But doesn't exist in the original story. Ugh. Anywho, you have a second one.
I do. So my second one is... And my notes specifically say, small dickhole, asshole, fuckhead, I hate him and he's overly dramatic. And it's Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, yes. Yeah.
I hate him.
I don't know why.
Do you not know the full story?
I don't think so.
So I'm going to read the overly dramatic portion. There's another one that's less dramatic.
Well, we all love drama around here. So.
Oh, I love it. Rumpelstiltskin.
Yep.
By the Grimm brothers.
Yeah, well.
I mean, retold by the Grimm brothers. It's a German story.
I think all of their stories are German.
I think they're German.
Makes sense.
I'm really bad at reading things.
That's fine.
So we're going to bear with me here.
You'll get all of my original shock and awe responses.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised. Did you watch Once Upon a Time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why?
I don't know, because he's in it. Just
yeah, but that's like probably a nice version, right?
I mean, he's a dick at first.
He's pretty much a dick throughout.
True. Okay, actual story here. Once upon a time, there was a miller who was poor, but who had a beautiful daughter. Now, it happened that he got into a conversation with the king, and to make an impression on him, he said, I have a daughter who can spin straw into gold.
Okay, that I've heard.
Yes. So the king said to the miller, that is an art that I really like. If your daughter is as skillful as you say, then bring her to my castle tomorrow, and I will put her to the test. When the girl was brought to him, he led her into a room that was entirely filled with straw. Giving her a spinning wheel and a reel, he said, go to work now. Spin all night. If by morning you have not spun this straw into gold, then you will have to die.
Jesus.
He himself locked the room, and she was there all alone. The poor miller's daughter sat there, and for her life she did not know what to do. She had no idea how to spin straw into gold. She became more and more afraid, and finally began to cry. Then suddenly the door opened. A little man stepped inside and said, Good morning, Mistress Miller. Why are you crying so?
Oh, so this is Rumpelstiltskin?
Yeah, but we don't know his name yet.
Okay.
Oh, answered the girl. I am supposed to spin straw into gold, and I do not know how to do it. The little man said, What will you give me if I spin it for you? My necklace, said the girl. The little man took the necklace, sat down before the spinning wheel, and whir 3 times pulled, and the spool was full. Then he put another one on, and whir 3 times pulled. The second one was full as well.
What's the whir?
The sound of the wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it went until morning, and then all the straw was spun, and the spools were filled with gold. At sunrise the king came, and when he saw the gold, he was surprised and happy, but his heart became even more greedy for gold. He had the miller's daughter taken to another room filled with straw. It was even larger, and he ordered her to spin it in one night if she valued her life.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right. The girl did not know what to do, and she cried. Once again the door opened and the little man appeared. He said, What will you give me if I spin the straw into gold for you?
I'll show you my tits.
Same. She says, The ring from my finger.
Mm-hmm.
The little man took the ring and began once again to whir with the spinning wheel. By the morning he had spun all the straw into glistening gold. The king was happy beyond measure when he saw it, but he still did not have his fill of gold.
Ugh, greedy bastard.
Dick. You're the fucking king. You're fine. Anyway, he had the miller's daughter taken to a still larger room filled with straw, and he said, Tonight you must spin this too. If you succeed, you shall become my wife.
Ew.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly, right? I'm going to do manual labor for marriage. It's fine.
Yeah.
He thought, even if she's only a miller's daughter, I will not find a richer wife in all the world. Because, I mean, who fucking else is richer than to spin straw into gold? Cool.
Yeah.
So, when the girl was alone, the little man returned for a third time. He said, What will you give me if I spin the straw this time? She said, I have nothing more that I could give you. Then promise me, after you're a queen, your first child. Who knows what will happen, thought the miller's daughter, not knowing what else to do. She promised the little man what he demanded. In return, the little man once again spun the straw into gold. When in the morning the king came and found everything just as he desired, he married her, and the beautiful miller's daughter became queen. A year later, she brought a beautiful child into the world. She thought no more about the little man, but suddenly he appeared in her room and said, Now give me that which you promised.
Give my money.
Exactly, right?
Except, give me my baby.
Give me that baby. The queen took fright and offered the little man all the wealth in the kingdom if he would let her keep the child. But the little man said, no, something living is dearer to me than all the treasures of the world. Then the queen began lamenting and crying so much that the little man took pity on her and said, I will give you 3 days' time. If by then you know my name, then you shall keep your child. The queen spent the entire night thinking of all the names she had ever heard. Then she sent a messenger into the country to inquire far and wide what other names there were. When the little man returned the next day, she began with Casper, Melchior, Balzer,
Melchior?
Melchior.
Some German Floydy name.
Exactly. Balzer, and said in order all the names she knew. After each one, the little man said, that's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. Sorry. The second day, she sent inquiries into the neighborhood as to what names people had. She recited the most unusual and most curious names to the little man. Is your name perhaps Beestrib, or Mutton Calf, or Legstring? Legstring. Think about that one. But he always answered, that is not my name. On the third day, the messenger returned and said, I have not been able to find a single new name, but when I was approaching a high mountain on the corner of the woods, there were the fox and the hare there. Say good night. I saw a little house. A fire was burning in front of the house, and an altogether comical little man was jumping around the fire, hopping on one leg and calling out, Today I'll bake, tomorrow I'll brew, then I'll fetch the queen's new child. It is good that no one knows Rumpelstiltskin is my name. Which doesn't fucking rhyme.
No.
So he's dancing around singing, Today I'll bake, tomorrow I'll brew, and then I'll fetch the queen's new child. It's good that no one knows Rumpelstiltskin is my name.
Well, he's alone. It's like singing off key.
It's like singing to the cat.
Yeah. I do that.
See?
Did I oh my god. I don't know if I... Yes, I do. Have you ever heard the song by Tenacious D, Fuck Her Gently?
That is Sam's favorite fucking song.
It is Dahlia's too.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I'm okay.
Continue.
You can imagine how happy the queen was when she heard that name. Soon afterward, the little man came in and asked, Now, Madame Queen, what is my name? She first asked, Is your name Coons? No. Is your name Heinz? No.
Like dressing? Or like
I mean,
mustard?
I'm sure it was first a German name. Is your name perhaps Rumpelstiltskin? The devil told you that! The devil told you that! Shouted the little man, and with anger he stomped his right foot so hard into the ground that he fell in up to his wrist. Then with both hands he took hold of his left foot and ripped himself up the middle in two.
Jesus, why? Is it like a temper tantrum?
Yeah, he's doing, and that's the rest of the story. That's it. So, in the other tellings of the story, he got so pissed off that he, like, had this magical fucking soup ladle or shit, and he jumped out the window.
So, he just gets pissed off and kills himself?
He just ripped himself in half.
Like, even the other one. He's like, peace!
I know. And with anger, he stomped his right foot so hard into the ground that he fell in up to his waist. Then with both hands he took hold of his left foot and ripped himself up the middle in two. But, the end of the other story, he says, Impossible, no fair, no fair. The little man screeched angrily, stamping his foot hard on the ground. He scurried around the queen's room in a fit of rage. He smashed into walls, thumped his foot, and bumped his head.
Oh, God.
He smashed and thumped and bumped and jumped. And then, so blind with anger, the strange little man jumped right out of the queen's window. He was never, ever, ever seen again.
I feel like that's perfect. Like, the strange little man. I just imagine after he did that, they all, like, stopped and just looked at each other like, what the fuck just happened?
What a weird fucking guy.
Who invited that guy?
I wonder. Oh, in the song, in this story, it actually rhymes. It says, "She is large and I am small, but, oh, how I dance and prance round all. And though she's queen, how I will glean, her only child as I'd foreseen. For she will never ever claim that Rumpelstiltskin is my name."
Either way, he's a dumbass. Because, I mean...
So, my notes straight up just say, if you don't know the not so tear yourself in half out of anger version of the story, go read it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little man, so...
He's a little fucking weird man, that's what he is.
He's got, was the Chihuahua complex.
Yeah! Oh my god. I can imagine him just, quivering. Shaking.
I'm so angry.
He's vibrating with anger. Oh my god.
That's great.
Okay.
I'm really happy about all that.
Yep, those are my stories.
Well, I'm glad we got a laugh out of yours because mine was too dark.
I mean, my first one was sad, but you have to watch that short.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I will.
Okay.
I'm going to.
But then, so, Netflix right now has this, it's this, Disney documentary type thing where it shows all of their animated skits in, chronological. Yeah. It's in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I originally saw it.
Was just putting on the shorts.
Yeah. And there's one that has a cat that tangos with his tail, and his tail tries to kill him. It's great.
What?
No, it's so good.
So many drugs. Anywho. Are you ready for recommendations?
Yeah. Do you want to
Awesome.
go first?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, the first, it's its own fairy tale kind of movie is Pan's Labyrinth. Mm. I mean, it is probably one of the most fucked up fairy tale type movies I've ever seen.
By my husband. Guillermo del Toro is my husband. Sorry.
He's pretty amazing.
Sorry, Sam. I'm sure he'd be fine with it, honestly.
I mean, yeah. Anywho. But yeah, it's beautiful and amazing and fantastical. I don't even know where you can watch it right now.
Pan's Labyrinth?
I don't think it's on anything.
I think it's on Netflix.
Is it?
It might have been. I thought I saw it.
At one point it was.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a stupid, fun, action-y kind of fantasy... What the fuck are we even talking about right now?
Fantasy movies?
Dark and disturbing fairy tale.
Yikes.
A not so dark and disturbing fairy tale. Brothers Grimm. The really stupid one with Heath Ledger.
I love that movie. Don't even start.
What's the... Oh, Monica...
Lewinsky? No.
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 I want to say Monica Labucci, but that's not right.
That's not right.
Anywho, it's fun. I like the witch. She turns into an evil, ugly witch, right?
Honestly, I've seen that movie so many times, but I can't remember a single fucking thing about it except for the brothers and some weird decrepit castle.
Yeah. And then there's... We talked about this. So there's a new movie. It's not a new movie, but it was made in 2015. It's some IFC independent film thing. It was an Italian film, and it's based off of Three Tales by Giambattista Basile.
Who?
He's like Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh,
he also made really fucked up fairy tales.
Yikes.
And the movie is called Tale of Tales. And I even wrote in my notes, I couldn't finish it, and it felt like I had swallowed razor blades.
You tried to explain it to me, and my ears had razor blades in them.
It is just the most uncomfortable movie I've ever seen. It was almost 2.5 hours of just imagine the weirdest, most depressing yet beautiful movie you've ever seen, and then just mush that along with shit and depression, and there.
The costume design was
it was
fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. And the set design. Everything about that movie was visually stunning. If you didn't have the sound on...
Turn off the sound, turn off subtitles.
Yeah, everything. Just
You're
watch
fine.
it happen. But yeah, so that's Pan's Labyrinth, Brothers Grimm, and Tale of Tales. Your go.
So I guess I could have used this for my first recommendation for when we did our creature feature. But it's fine. Because it semi-falls along that fairy tale, folklore type thing. But what I originally wanted to talk about was Huldra. Do you know what Huldra are?
Mm-mm.
Cow ladies, fox ladies, tree ladies. They're basically forest sirens of Norway, Dutch lore, stuff like that.
Sure.
So this movie, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong like I always do, and then I watch the movie and I'm like, oh fuck, that's right. I think it's pronounced Thal or Thal.
Yeah, but it looks like Thale.
It looks like Thale. Yeah. Thale. Basically, two crime scene cleanup guys. They discover this chick in this bunker, and unbeknownst to them, she's a Huldra that had her tail cut off. Which is a massive spoiler for the movie. They find this chick in a bunker with weird shit.
Okay.
And a bathtub full of milk. It's gross.
Okay.
I love this movie, but there's not a lick of English.
Oh, okay.
It is all in whatever language it's in, because I can't remember. I think it's a Norwegian movie, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So subtitles. Unless you happen to speak said language, because I don't know you. And then my second recommendation isn't a movie, even though it is technically a movie, is Stardust by Neil Gaiman.
Or if you pronounce it the other way, it's Gaiman.
Is it Gaiman? I always think...
I don't know. Honestly, again, tomato, tomato.
I need him to write us and tell me how to pronounce his name with a recording. Because I'm just going to keep saying Gaiman until somebody proves me otherwise. But basically, a dude named Tristan, he promised to bring back a fallen star, and he sets out on a journey, and he finds said fallen star, and then a lot of shit happens.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yay! But that's the movie.
That's the
I'm
movie.
talking about the book. Anyway, you can watch the movie. You can read the book. I recommend it either way. I loved the movie. The movie was so visually pleasing that...
Yeah. What I saw was beautiful. Like I said, I haven't finished it.
Yeah.
We've tried watching it. We've tried watching it, I think, at this point twice or 3 times, and I just haven't finished it.
Yeah, a lot of shit happens, but it is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good. And the book goes along with it because it's the same. They re-released the book when they released the movie.
They usually do.
Yeah, because it apparently didn't catch any steam when it was first released. And then they released the movie and the book, and then it was great.
Awesome.
There you go.
Are we good for exits?
Oh, am I doing it or are you doing it?
It's mine.
Okay, cool. Then you. Yes.
I don't want to do it.
I was like, I'm not emotionally prepared for it.
So our next episode is Washington State Urban Legends. Ooh. I'm really excited about this. I also reached out to people on social media, and I was able to get one person who told me about one of their local urban legends, which was really cool. And there are actually a lot more around here than I thought.
Yeah.
A lot more. Remember that list we saw? It's huge.
Yeah.
Anywho, our Patreon's up, and I think a few episodes ago now, we explained all the tiers and everything. But you can go over there and check it out yourself. We do a bunch of behind the scenes. Whoa. Behind the scenes stuff, and then you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at RAHM Podcast. You can also find our personal Instagrams. Mine is at VKDub, and Michaela's is at Interstellar Camper. And I think that's it. Yeah. Awesome. This was really fun.
I liked it.
I think we'll have to do a lot more of these. Well, not like these, but definitely a creature feature.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I'm going to write that one down.
Absolutely.
Before I forget.
Thank you guys for listening. Bye.